tēnei hāpori. Nui ake ngā mai ki wanga i a koutou atu i a mātou ko tōna wāna. Engari ahakoa tērā, pera. Ki te mō i mātou, ko ai mātou ki ai ko tōna wāna. Nō reira, tino no kua ia ngā mai o te whānau nei. Katoia e Te Pāti Māori, te haere tonu i o rātou mai, kei mua i o rātou, kei te wātia, mātou hoki, te wana pani, kia noo hoku me o mātou ake, karia tonu ki. Ngari, tēnei te mei atu, kia huani watiti, ka tika, ki te hāpori nei, ki te wānau nei, ki te pāpā Peter Sharples, nā rāwatai ko tō mātou kuia, tari ana turia, Te Pāti Māori, i whakatūria i rāua, hei pāti, hei kauia i ngā take Māori, ki roto i pārimata. Nō reira, tēnei te nui mai a mātou te whānau, hani ki te whānau Hawaii, Huani Watiti, o reira, nā koutou. Ki te wātia te mai kei mua i a tātou, e nui ngā mai hoki. Ki tā mata, ko ta i te ringa o tēnei kāwanatanga, nō reira, kia kaa, tātou. Me whai hoa hoki ki roto i pārimata. Ai, e nō reira.
Tēnā koe. Tēnā koe lia. He korero mai te mānia o ke te pai? Hapai. Tēnā korua. Hapai. Aere mea roha kia korua. Kia ora. Thank you. Who do we want now, whānau? Yeah, hapai. Yeah. Hapai, yeah.
Cool.
Always
Kia ora. Sorry, didn't see you there.
Are you being flanked?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure that's sorry. Congratulations. Yeah, oh my goodness.
See you again.
Typical broadcaster, right?
I can't remember. You said what? News
Terrible.
Sorry, I better get
No, used to this. I am, Look. Hit me. Nah. Nicely. No. Nice. Nice, Jill. It was nice. It was nice to have a chat with a bro. I'll grow one day. One day I will grow. Debbie was like, hang on, you and Min will stand together. And she's like, yes, I'm taller than you all. Okay.
Go.
Make sure you don't ask dumb questions.
We'll be like this, we'll be like, what are you trying to say?
This is the press
We'll be
man.
like,
Lovely, can you just bend your knees down a little?
You've been promoted.
I'm on the tools, Deb. I'm on the tools.
Oh, that's what he has crusted things like this.
That's like that.
Goes like that.
ka pai.
This makes me look tall.
Ka pai?
Pretty please.
All good?
All good?
Me? Ka pai. Cool. Well, to start us off with, I guess, Oriini, congratulations, but firstly, I guess the impetus or where the seed was planted to put your head in the ring for Tāmaki Makaurau.
For me, I was actually talking to the whanaunga outside, and I said, well, being 40, something happens and something changes, and I think that's called maturity, but it definitely hits harder when you have a mokopuna. And for me, my tamariki of age, they are the parents now, and I am the kuia, so with that comes a lot of fear for the future that my mokopuna will be living, and so it's a natural progression for me to be a part of Te Pāti Māori. There was no other choice really for me. This is who I am, and this is where I'm accepted to be all of that I am, and this is a statement to my mokopuna in the future to say, hey, ka loko e whakarere I tō taha Māori, me tō Pāti.
Oriini, how would you describe the current political climate under this government?
What is the right word? I know all the words in Te Ao Māori, but I would say he anu, ne? He takahia rawati ana te mana o Te Ao Māori, o Te iwi Māori, a koera au I tuka mai, ai te hānea neatanga o taku ao, It was a comfortable lifestyle that I had finally cultivated and found in the last couple of years, having left broadcasting and really just arokita te whānau, looking after my kids and my mokopuna especially, but losing my mum gave me a lot of perspective during COVID to actually what is most important. Is it important for me to continue being the voice of all our country, or all our Tāmaki Māori? Yes, it is, but also important is to look after my own. There's no point in saving the world if I can't actually te aki I apuake tamariki. So that was also part of the whole reason why I'm here today.
What was the significance of doing it today at a Hōani Waititi, where you grew up, and the I guess the South East meets West that happened last night, and the significance of that being handed over to you today at Hōani Waititi?
E nui te hiranga, I te hokitanga mai, o te whānau pani, me kei te mahana tonu, te mate kai ringa I a rātau e kairi tonu ana te pōkea o ki runga I te whānau o takutai, moana, ki, mō reira. Te hokitanga mai ki te whakatau tika, maroto I ngā tikanga. Tēnei whare, ne? He whare I whakatūngia I roto I ngā tūmanako me ngā tikanga o ngā mātua tīpuna katoa nō reira. My generation and our children and our mokopuna are responsible for looking after the Māori and the mana of this marae and all the people that affiliate to it, so it's a living legacy. The fact that Te Pāti Māori, I'm standing between these two and a part now of this aroa kapa, or this front line, this vanguard of Te Ao Māori, is an absolute honour and not one I do alone. I bring with me the mana of this whare o Papa Pita, our survivor here, Raiwatahi ko Whaia Te Aroha, who is here as well, and all our surviving kuia and koroua who started this for us, who implanted and embedded in us kōrero Māori, ngā wā katoa, ko te mana Māori motuhake ko tō reo, tūrangatira, tūpakari, hei raukura mo tō iwi, and I'm really, really thankful I have these two and our other teammates that are here as well to manaki. Me.
Why should the people of Tāmaki Makaurau back you?
That is a really good question. I believe that Tāmaki Makaurau, it's up to Tāmaki Makaurau who they want to give their vote to. I'm not here to tell them to give it to me. I'm not here to force anybody to give it to me because I'm the new person amongst, this established party. Tino korene, I'm here to earn respect. That's who I've always been, even as a journalist. You know that. And for me, it's about now really identifying and trying to bring together Tāmaki Makaurau, but first I have to actually go to Tāmaki Makaurau and do the hard work. Fortunately, I'm not just part of Wāni Waititi. I have whanaunga all across the rohe here, especially out in south, especially out in the east side with Mātātua and Mangere and Tirahu. Tūhoi, Ngāti Awa, Ngāti Rangitihi and Ngāti Tūwharetua. We have so many taurahere in Tāmaki Makaurau. It's not just mana whenua. There's how many mana whenua in Tāmaki Makaurau, right? And then you multiply that by the enormous amount of Māori that call Tāmaki Makaurau home. Ngāpuhi, 80% of Ngāpuhi call Tāmaki Makaurau home. So it's not just about Tāmaki Makaurau, it's about appealing to Ngāpuhi, appealing to Taranaki, appealing to Waikato. I'm just myself, but I come with the full force of Te Ao Mātua, which is every iwi is represented.
So with that in mind, what are some of the big kaupapa? It's a complex seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are some of the big kaupapa that you think are going to really highlight this campaign?
Three critical areas that I'm looking at, and this is coming from my own personal experience as a mum and as a queer now. It's bloody hard, right? The cost of living is really atrocious, just getting by, making ends meet, even for someone like me who has a modest and decent income, but still struggling on the daily. The prices of rents and the affordability of buying a home here in Tāmaki Makaurau is just out of reach. It's out of reach for my tamariki, and that's also the sense of urgency that I have is to figure out the plan. What is 40 years going to look like for my mokopuna if I can't even afford the rent today? How are my children going to, and that's just me. That's just me. I can only imagine what every whānau across Tāmaki Makaurau, who have an income or not, are feeling right now. Butter is $16. That's ripping off our culture when we can't have butter on our fried bread. That's impacting whānau. That's jokes aside. It's just ridiculous housing. But let's not forget our rangatahi have very powerful voices, and they voiced a lot of really important kaupapa in Parliament. They were also censored, by this government. Is that okay? Is it okay? No, it's not. But what rangatahi are crying out for is for help, for us to listen to them, especially around mental health. Mental health did not go away. There was a huge mental health crisis only a couple of years ago. Where is that? No one's talking about it.
Can we expect some key policy announcements to kind of really hash out some of those key areas, especially median age of Tāmaki by electorate is 27, like you say, rangatahi, so how do we get the voter turnout for the rohe, and how are you going to ensure you can, put this passion into written policy?
Yeah, that is a great question. And I will lean to support only because I've been here, in all due respect to the process and the fact that I'm very brand new and very green. I just put my hand up the other day and now I'm here going, oh gosh, I've got to switch from a broadcaster to an actual serious. I take this very seriously. So while I'd love to answer your question right now, I don't have the information. I haven't digested much more than really why should Tāmaki vote for me. I will be looking into the policies and actually doing it justice. We've got some beautiful minds and brains that are ready also to step up. When I said ko tai te wā, it's time to step up, I meant for everyone that hasn't been seen. So it's also inspiring many of us, more of us, to say, hey, look, if I can break the ice, if I can break through one barrier, that's the sign, mā tātou katoa e kawe.
We know the broadcaster, Oriini, we know the Oriini on the cuppa stage. Rawari, though, you guys grew up out the bare streets of West Auckland. Give us a little bit more, context about your relationship and your memories growing
Well, look, first of all, I want to congratulate Oriini on being the successful candidate for Tāmaki Makaurau. I think she is going to be a powerhouse in this by-election, and really proud that Tāmaki Makaurau made her as their choice. And so looking forward to the challenge and to the fight here on the streets in Tāmaki Makaurau for this particular seat, and also acknowledging Tash. I do want to, Te Atatu isn't, that's a very, very brown, very, very Māori piece of Tāmaki Makaurau. And it was when we were growing up. Waipani Road, Tawa Road, these are streets that, families knew each other, but they weren't it wasn't the rich families that you see now, and they're called Te Atatu Peninsula. It was Tat North back then, 834, hard. And so it's really, really neat to get somebody else who knows how difficult it is to live here in Tāmaki Makaurau, but have experienced that. And when you live on streets like Waipani Road and Tawa Road, we understand the pressures that living in town offers. You transition from one complication to another. And so Tāmaki Makaurau has huge housing issues, it has huge issues when it comes to the cost of living. And when you're paying $16 for a butter, that is absolutely atrocious. We've got huge infrastructure issues, but homelessness is also a big issue here, and rangatahi homelessness. And Tash was really, really strong on rangatahi, really strong on issues like homelessness. And I'm really proud that Oriini has already identified those as some key indicators heading into this election. And there will be policy as we go along. Let's just go through one step at a time. We've made the announcement, really proud of the announcement, and as the by-election goes along, we will be making policy announcements. And I'm just really excited and elated that Oriini is going to be, and I know, the new MP for Tāmaki Makaurau.
Oriini, how does a background in media prepare you for something like Parliament?
Confidence. That's the first thing that comes to mind is confidence in terms of who we address or talk to. I think that's a real gift that being in media gives us is being able to stand tall and stand proud, but also to ask the hard questions. It is your job. It was my job, but to hold people to account in the best interest of the public. How it affects everybody out there, I understand that. That's no different to where I'm standing now. In my puku, that's what I'm feeling. I have a duty, as you do, to represent well and to the best of my ability. This is my ability that I'm giving, not everybody's, but I want everybody to help if they can. And so that's really what media background is, also articulating in te reo Pākehā. How to also clearly articulate my thoughts. I still waffle. But that's me. I'm a storyteller naturally. I'm naturally Māori, so I love to have a kōrero and a wānanga.
That's our problem too.
But that is our superpower. Anyway, but yeah, there's a lot that being a broadcaster has given me and has prepared me to be in a role like this, to be in a front-facing public position. The backlash that is going to come. We're prepared for it as best as we can. No one can ever foresee how this is going to turn, right? You can never be prepared. But as a broadcaster, I have faced a lot of, racist rhetoric and all of that. So I feel like, my skin is a bit of a tuna, kiri tuna, it's thick. But be mindful that we all have whānau, and they did not get any of the training that I have had in the last 20 years. So I'm mindful about the impact it has on everybody in Te Ao Māori, not just me. I do represent, yes, my whānau, yes, this marae, but even Rūmaki Reo. My kids aren't solely just in Māori-speaking schools. I'm a mum of kids who went to bilingual units as well as mainstream schools. And so why I bring that up is to dispel any misconception that I'm only focused on one particular person. Absolutely not. Te Ao Māori, every Māori person deserves their reo, their tikanga, and everything that was granted to them under Te Tiriti o Waitangi.
Talk about it's going to be up against potentially Pini Hina, an institution and a seat of former member. Are you nervous?
Yeah, no. Why should I be nervous when, politics aside, we're tungane tuahine at the end of the day. We're all Māori, we get along. So I have a lot of time and energy, and I'll put this on the record, I voted for Penny in the past. No, yes, I'm not ashamed. As Māori, we have that choice to vote our way, right? I'm not ashamed to say that I have always been a Māori Party supporter, but there's a problem with the boundaries, right? That Te Atatus Peninsula, or North that Rawiri referred to, segregates us from actually voting for the people we support wholeheartedly. So all our supporters here, Hoani Waititi Marae, we're forced to take part in a voting process that actually doesn't, we can't vote for our own.
I was just to assure you, she won't make that mistake again.
Well, I'm running now. The vote will come to me.
I just think we also need to clarify and make sure that the story highlights in 4 days. We've put to rest a MP who fell. We've had Oriini put her name up. She's gone and got her whānau support, her community support, the support of those who put the last MP in place, and is also belonging into a culture where we actually need a politician in this electorate who will fight, not someone who will go for incremental change. Of all due respect to those others, we needed to look for someone who will actually represent the whole of Tāmaki Makaurau and not look for incremental advancement, someone who will actually bring solutions in any way, form, and it's not always policy. Actually, more importantly, it's about advocacy and standing up to the face of this bully government that we've got at the moment. And she is the best person because we've seen the attacks she's had when she was the first broadcaster in the world to wear our taonga. That is the calibre of this candidate, and that is what Tāmaki Makaurau will be buying into, someone who's unapologetic and who will see her community and scrap to the end against the most racist right-wing government we've ever had. One-term government is the scrap that we're going for, and only Te Pāti Māori will do that. None of the other parties, none of the other settler parties have that in their horizon.
If you are successful and win this seat, who are you most looking forward to challenging in that house?
That's it. Who should I be looking forward to first? I don't know. I'll ask the experts, like which one should I pick?
All of them.
All of them.
We don't have a high-powered rifle, it's a Gatling gun, and everybody is in our sights, and nobody is free to continue to inflict the pain that they're inflicting on our people.
That's right.
And so we will be making sure that everybody is in our targets, and we don't have the luxury of focusing on one person, but we have to focus on everybody.
No, I am looking forward to actually just being amongst the ranks and supporting them as best I can. Sitting outside on the sidelines and watching from afar and just breaking inside, knowing that, our haka is globally hot but locally not. We can't haka, we can't exercise our tikanga rightfully in that whare. Yet, hey, everybody wants a karanga and a karakia, but they don't want to actually follow proper tikanga and protocol and what it actually means. So I am really rearing to just stand next to them, beside them, to say what I need to say, but also to back them.
How much of the focus will be, voter turnout, especially for by-election, is really low? How much of the focus will be getting Māori out to vote, especially with, I guess, an increase in engagement with submissions now, more about whānau, more about anatahi, there've been submissions for Treaty Principle, Regulatory Standards Bill. Are you hoping that translates and what will you be doing in order to encourage voter turnout?
Absolutely. We've got a team already, an army behind the scenes actually preparing right now what our plan of attack is, and that is it is engaging our people so that they are more aware of politics and civics and their rights as people and the power within a vote. There's a reanga hoi, there's a new generation. Our kids are 18 plus now, and they're a lot more clever than we are, when we were that age as well. But in all due respect to everybody within Tāmaki Makaurau and across the motu, as a collective, the rumblings, the constant highlighting of what's happening under this government's control is really actually influencing more of Te Ao Māori to stand up and actually just be very conscious about what politics is. So we're hoping to definitely reach every part of Tāmaki Makaurau, and I do really am standing here grateful, knowing that many marae across this rohe have already put all their support behind us.
No one parties
We're not
like
doing
Te Pāti
this.
Māori.
Yeah, and Te Pāti
No one
Māori.
parties like Te Pāti Māori.
Ain't no party like the Pāti Māori.
Get ready for a whare event.
Ka hau e tahi o ngā naue matua ka wahaina e koe ki roto i tēnei rehi, he whakararata i te tuna hōti o Tāmaki Makaurau.
Ahau he wahine Māori, ahau he kuia, ahau he māma, nō reira, kei te tino mārama ahau, ne, hau ngā kupōtai a mahi nei, engari ko te, kia rui a te taitea ka tū
paikāka, ne, te rākau, ka kite koe i te uho o te manawa o tērā rākau, kua hau, ne, e rite ana ki te katoa o ngā kuia, ngā wāhine, teen mum, ne, i whānau tamariki mai aku, tamariki no reira, kai te mōhio a hau, ki ngā ua-uatanga, e pākau nei ki ngā whānau katoa, ne, aku tamariki, he ua-ua te kimi tētahi kura reo Māori, ne, me haere āua rima te kau miniti i tua atu i tō kāinga, e whai reo ai tāu tamaiti, ne, ngā utu mo ngā kai, ngā utu mo te penehini, ngā utu mo te hiko o te whare, mo te pūrere ata, hei whakamahana i te whare. Tōku pāpā ake, koia kai te noho āhua tuakoka i tōna whare ake, ne, e tangi ana te iwi, engari ko te aronga matua o tēnei kāwanatanga, he tuku i ngā moni ki tā wāhi, he tuku i ngā rawa ki tā wāhi, he hoatu ke i te mahana o te whare ki tangata ke, ne, i te mea he hohonu te rā pūkoro, ka hore rawa atu. Ne, koira te tino, taumahatanga i tēnei wā atu i tērā, ko te ora o te hinengaro, kai te tino pākau ki o tātou iwi, kia haua no hoki kia tātou, i tēnei ao no reira, he aha e tahi rongoā, ne, he nui ngā tohunga rongoā kei wahora, engari kaore tēnei kāwana, ngā tikanga o tēnei whenua e āta kite i te hiranga o te ao Māori, no reira, kene pia koe rā noho ki tētahi ara kua kōrero ke enei tokorua Te Pāti Māori mo te tohe i te mana Māori motuhake rongoā, he Māori katoa era, engari he oranga kei roto.
Nā, kua whakatau ia ngā kaua mo wera mea te Māori e rā tuahotanga ki te tūranga hoki nei. Hea te mahere i nāne, hea te mahi aronga nui i nāne i rua i te kuhu ki te pōti a te rawi.
Pai tērā pātai, te okiwa, ko te mahi nui i tēnei wā, ko te āta whakarite, ne? Ko te whakamahere, ko te rautaki. Kaua ko te rautaki takitahi, engari he rautaki tini tēnei no reira kā puta, kua tīmata ke te puta. Ki ngā moka katoa o Tāmaki, ki te taitonga, engari ki te rakipai whenua anō hoki, koa kai te taitoke rau kea te rakipai, Tāmaki tēnei, ua ka ki atu, kia mātau ngā hua, engari ko koutou ke kai tērā taha o te maurawai. He pōrangi tērā, ne? Ko ngā rohe-rohenga era o tēnei kāwanatanga, ne? Ka hoki ana kia te kōti mai, kōrero tia mo te ruri whenua. E pērā tonu ana i te wānei, mo ngā wāri Māori, ne? Mo ngā rohe pōti Māori katoa, no reira, ko te mahi nui i tēnei wā. He āta whakamahere, ne? Me te mau, moku ake, mātāmua ko ngā tikanga. Ne? Mātau tikanga katoa ki haere atu mātau ki wāhike, kawe atu he koha ne, kārohia ngā tikanga e rātu āhuatanga. Hei tui, ne, hea te mahi a te rangatira, he ranga i tōna tira. Koira te mahe, ko taku tira, ko Tāmaki. Koira taku hia ia.
Pai, thank you. Ka mihi nui.
Well done, darling. One down, 500,000.
Trillion.
Sorry, I said I voted for Penny, but I don't bloody say. I did. And then what did he do with it? No.
That's what Chilla followed your call.
No. Well, I was waiting for you to do that. And then what the I know, but there's... Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
What he reckons I should wear this.